Hey, it's Keith on the coast, live and in action once again for Keith Skies, the November version, joined again by Mr. Charles Ennis, the former president of the Royal Canadian Astronomical Society. How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing good. How are you, Keith?
Good. Busy month in October. Lots of fun stuff to be saw with the solar eclipse and Jupiter right beside the moon and all that fun stuff. Must be a fun month for you.
It was a good one. We had the weather that permitted us to view this stuff. Last minute break in the clouds for the eclipse. Check out our Facebook page for the pictures. We got some great pictures. Got a front page picture on the newspaper too. So check that out.
Very cool. Very cool. And November, just as exciting, or what we got coming up?
Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff. Let's do this. So first of all, I just want to remind everybody what we're doing is chasing night skies. Can't really set a date for something until we're a few days out and we know that we've got a clear sky, because there's no point in setting a date on a date that turns out to be cloudy. So if you want to check our Facebook page, the link there, and our Sunshine Coast Astronomy and our coastastronomy.ca website, you'll be able to find out when we plan to be up there. Also, we got our observatory happening on Saturday nights if there's a clear sky. So check again on the Facebook for that. And we are doing our traveling neighborhood star parties. Picture here from the last one that we did, which is in West Sechelt up at Holy Family Catholic Church, had a good turnout. We're planning our next one to be in Madeira Park, but again, we're looking for the weather, so we'll keep you posted. So what I want to talk about this month is the moon is visiting various celestial objects. Let's take a look and see what those are. First of all, on the 9th of this month, Venus is going to be 1 degree away from the moon, so you can get them both in your binoculars or your camera or whatever. This is 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's like an early rising event, but it will be easy to find Venus because it's such a bright object in the sky right next to the moon, which is just a crescent, but you'll be able to see it there, no problem. On the 20th of November, looking south into the sky at Aquarius and Capricornus, you can see Saturn 3 degrees from the moon, which is in its first quarter there. That's another good photo op. Now, if you've never seen Neptune, you're going to need a telescope for this, but it's going to be really easy to find on the 22nd of November around midnight, because it's going to be 1 degree away from the moon. There's the moon there. You can see that little red X there. That's where Neptune's going to be. Can't mistake it. It's a deep blue color when you're looking at it, this little disk in the sky. And then on the 26th, Uranus is going to be 3 degrees from the moon, which is going to be close to being full then. And that's another one that's easy to spot if you get a telescope on it. It's turquoise color. You'll see Jupiter's close by as well. On the 27th, the moon is going to be in between the Hyades cluster down in the left corner there and the Pleiades, which is quite an easy cluster to spot. So that might be a good photo op. Another thing I quickly want to talk about is meteor showers. The Orionids are in progress now. They'll be active until November the 22nd. The peak of the Orionids is already passed, but there are still a few popping off from that location. So there you see Orion, and up in the left there where the arrow is, that's where they'll be originating from. And there are bits and pieces left over from the Halley's Comet, which went through many years ago. The Taurids, there's 2 of them. The southern ones are now active, and they will be until December the 8th, and they peak on November 5th and 6th, so very soon. And the northern ones until December the 2nd, and they peak on November the 11th, Remembrance Day, and 12th. You can see the diagram here. There are 2 very close radiants in the sky in between Aries and Taurus there. These are bits and pieces that are falling off of the parent object, which is 2P Encke comet. They're not really active showers. There's about 5 per hour, and they're rather slow, so they'll streak across the sky rather slowly. The Leonids are coming up between the 3rd of November and the 2nd of December, with a peak on the 17th to 18th of November. There you see the constellation Leo, and right there in the middle there, that's where they're going to be coming from. This is an interesting one because typically when it's at its zenith, you get 15 per hour, but for several periods back in I've got the dates there between 1833 and 2001, Obviously, big chunks broke off the comet and broke up, and they all came in at once. So we had meteor storms, which is more than 200 per hour. No idea whether that's going to happen for the peak this year, but it's always a possibility. These ones are relatively fast, 70 kilometers per second, and they're from that comet 55P Tuttle. And on the 10th of November, we're going to be having our monthly meeting at the Seashell Library. Also, we're going to be virtual on Zoom, and one of our members, Richard, who you see here, is going to be talking about astrophotography post-processing 101. So if you're interested in taking pictures of objects in the sky and figuring out how to do this as a beginner, this is the place to go. And that's it.
Very cool. Can I ask you a question about meteor showers?
You bet.
So you were talking about I now know they originate from a spot, and it's very important to find where that spot is. Tell me about how that works with the peak moments. Like, how does that happen that there's a time that's better to see them than not?
Okay, so when you're looking up into the sky, straight up above your head, you're looking through one width of atmosphere. If you're looking towards the horizon, you're looking through 6 times as much air. So the clearest view is when they get to the zenith, which is why they call that zenithal hourly rate, ZHR. That's when you can see the most of them because you've got the clearest view. So at that point, the reason they seem to be radiating out from that point, which is called the radiant, is because that is the direction that the Earth is heading in its orbit directly into that cloud. So they're going to be coming out in all directions from that point in the sky. That's basically how it works.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, once again, Charles, thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure to check out what they got going on, coastastronomy.ca, and you can check out their Facebook page. What's your Facebook page again, Charles?
Sunshine Coast Astronomers.
Sunshine Coast Astronomers. There you go. Awesome. Well, awesome. We'll have this video up so you can see it throughout the month. And yeah, I look forward to touching base with you next month, Charles.
Okay, we'll see you then.